You're tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I still miss that Cameron did the work for our opening song and we don't use it, but I'm gonna let it go.
We switch off.
We do, we switch off. Welcome, AfterBuzzers, to another Shark Tank after show.
What?
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, if you're watching, please go and hit that subscribe button, youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. We'd love for you guys to subscribe. We're also on iTunes, SoundCloud. You know where to find us. Leave us your questions, comments. We love to hear your guys' feedback. I'm Stef Z. You guys can tweet me at IAMSTEFZ. And you guys can also follow along with the show, hashtag ABTV Shark Tank. And Phil, where can the people tweet you during the show?
AfterBuzz TV is probably the best you'll get.
All right. Well, I'm very excited to have Phil on the panel tonight.
We're missing Cameron tonight from tonight's action.
Yeah, we miss you, Cameron. Something came up and he couldn't be here tonight, but, you know, he is here in spirit. Right here.
Great, a good episode.
Yeah, you know what? We got episode 19. It kind of was a good episode. For me, it moved fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I kind of was upset that there wasn't a Tuesday episode this week. I was looking for... I liked the double episode. I liked hearing 8 pitches a week rather than just 4. Do you know why it stopped?
You know, they were doubling up and things like that. They had things to promote and whatever else. So, you know.
No, so you don't know.
No, I'm giving you, how big a reason do you want?
Well, they had things to promote and double up. Was it they had things to promote and double up before Valentine's Day? I mean, for what purpose was it for doubling up in the specific few weeks that they did? That's kind of what I'm asking.
You know, Agent Carter, you know, it was the lead-in, it was the tie-in, things like that.
All right, all right. I see where you're going. So let's get it started. Let's talk about Liz and Ben from Portland, Oregon, and they have Sicko Designs. Is that how I say that? Sicko?
And had 2 S's in the name.
2 S's, EKO Designs.
Capital S, lowercase s.
Yeah, it's a... So what do you think about Liz and Ben? I really like their story. What do you think about the sandals, though?
It was interesting because it's you know, they made it very clear that it's a for-profit business, and I do like the story. The sandals are what, $60?
65 retail, yeah.
65 retail. You know, kind of, there should be a sticker of who made your thing, right? Because it's individual, you know. So you know, I want to know who I'm sending to school. But I like the idea overall. I just don't think they necessarily needed a shark.
Yeah. And again, just to recap that idea overall. So apparently Liz got this calling, wanted to go to Uganda. And while she was there, I found out that a lot of women there don't get to go to college. So the reason why she was so for-profit was because she thinks that making this for-profit, actually, you can see where the money goes right away, I think was kind of what she was getting at. So pretty much she put these women to work and, you know, promise them that if they worked for, what was it, like 9 months or something like that, then they would pay for their college. So it's like, it's almost like going to the military. I mean, it's not. They're making sandals. I understand that. But it's almost like they have to serve in a certain way and make something in order to get to go to college. So, way different from the military, I understand that. But you know what I mean? Like, they have to put in their time and then they get an education out of it rather than just get paid cash for it. And which is very interesting to me because if you think about it these days, they're for profit, but it's so funny because there's so many non-profits that actually make a shit ton of money anyway. So the fact that...
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the definition is very... I mean, you have to... It all depends on how much, quote, percentage of the non-profit is going to the actual charity and how much of it is administrative.
Right, but I mean, if you think about it, some of the biggest, like the NFL is a non-profit organization. Like, that's crazy. you know, but I understand they want to do this for profit. They want to make the money back. But I don't know if they were nonprofit and they got more sponsors, would this, you know, work out differently for them? I'm not sure. But they want $300,000 for 10% of the company. And I'm with you. I don't necessarily know that they need a shark. Like, I'm not quite sure what the shark was going to do, except, you know, try and spread the word more.
Yeah, which obviously just being on the show itself helped. It's one of those things that, you know, I don't know if the two goals aligned in the right way, right? So, you know, you can Mark Zuckerberg said this, you know, we make money on Facebook so we can continue to have a good product. We don't make a good product so we can make a lot of money, right? But I think they're the reverse. They want to make a lot of money so they make a product.
Right. I mean, I
know, you know, the two don't quite align.
No, and I understand it's like, you know, the cart before the horse almost. And I understand that, you know, using these women's skills and making these sandals. So for me, I don't know if I would actually wear the sandal. And it's not a style thing. For me, I mean,
you can create any style you want.
Right, but I feel like it's kind of a pain to do that. Like, when I want a sandal, for me, and again, I get that these dress up a little bit, but number one, Lori said it wasn't comfortable. And number two, it's like, when I want a sandal, it's because it's nice out, it's freeing. Like, I kind of want to just put my foot in it and go. I don't want to be like, oh, let me change the braids and do this and do that in order to make the sandal one way or another. I mean, I guess you could have multiple pairs, but, you know, I don't know, but they're selling them. They have $3 million worth of sales to date. So people are buying these sandals.
No, it's true. It's absolutely true. And, you know, I think it's only going to increase from there. You know, but like I said, they just didn't need a shark. And for the most part, you know, I mean, Barbara, of all people, was out.
Right.
And, you know, when she spoke, you know, where her other company, they've built 3 schools in Africa, but they're able to do it, and they have that great product. You know, again, I really thought Barbara would go for it because this seems like her product, but the fact that she was out, I knew it was sort of doomed.
Well, I kind of knew it was doomed when at first they were kind of like, yeah, we're not going to make money next year.
Yeah, that's when it went south.
I mean, like, there's a way to, and not that you should ever lie, like, I'm not saying that at all, but you don't have to come out, like, let somebody ask that and then have a reason for it. We're not going to make money anymore, I mean, next year, but it's because we're going to respend and we're going to do this, and this. You know what I mean? And he was just like, yeah, we're not going to make any money.
Yeah, but the worst was that he said, and the next year we're not going to make profit.
Right.
And so, you know, and especially Mark said it well of, you know, you keep doing this, but eventually you have to make, like, you keep putting back this money to do more ad campaigns and things like that, and yet you're only at this cap. How much further can you go? How much bigger can you make it?
Right.
You know.
No, I agree with you. Is there anything else that stuck out for you with, you know, I like the fact they've sent 47 women to college, which is kind of awesome. They're 100%, like, what they're doing is way more awesome than their product, or, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they could be making some educational product, or they just don't coincide. It was like, I have this thing I can make in order to send these women to school, but I don't think there's any real rhyme or reason.
No, there's not.
And I think that's what was lacking for me in this.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't hit as much as I wanted it to.
Yeah.
I really, Mark in this episode, he was kind of funny. He was like the first one out every time.
He kind of was.
He was like, yeah, I'm not a, all right.
Yeah,
Next.
he was, yeah, but he was, in his going out, he wasn't rude. He was just very concise and pointed out things right away.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really, you know, he's not like Mr. Wonderful. He's never a big jerk, you know. Okay, anything else about these sandals before we move on to...
Dead to me.
Dead to me. The Gold Rush Nugget Bucket.
Ew.
I mean... See, they want, Mark Peterson from Eugene, Oregon, wanted $60,000 for 15%. I mean, what do you think about this, Phil?
The asking amount is fairly low. The equity is fairly good. But does it? I don't know how to judge it. Is this just like some ridiculous hobby? Like, if you know, I thought on this one it would be one of those things where O'Leary would say, if I can get this in Dickies, then we have a deal. If not, then no.
Right.
Because they asked that question of, is it in stores already, something like this for Mine and Gold? And the answer was yes. So, okay, if there's stuff out there already, you know, we don't quite know how they're selling whatever else, but let's just get it in there and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, this is for me one of, it almost is along the lines of the guy who wanted to pitch to, like, Treasure Hunt. Like, it's so far-fetched to me, because most of these people, and when you're an entrepreneur, you're creating products that are filling a need. And like, maybe there is a need to mine gold with a bucket, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's so many shows nowadays about mining gold that this just doesn't seem like the way that they do it.
I wish he was kind of hinting at it, but I wish you know, there was like a statistic, like, because he said, you know, you can grab a Home Depot bag and you can find gold in it.
Right.
So what is the percentage of that? And I love Barbara. Do they know about that?
Right. Because, I mean, I don't know where, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I can never see myself buying this. Like, I have a couple nephews. I could never see myself being like, I'm going to buy my nephews this Gold Rush Nugget bucket. Like, would you ever buy this for someone for a gift? They were saying, like, the #1 thing was a gift.
I think if you really want to make it a great product, tie it into something where if you're camping, you also need this for this reason, right? Whether it's filtering water to make it drinkable, whether it's like...
Or, like, the amount of gold that you get can be energy, or you can, like... trade it in for stuff, or make it like an app, and you know what I mean, like the more gold you find, the more things you unlock to buy. I don't know, like there's got to be something more catching than just pour some water through.
You could go that route, but I think if you just make it a camping essential and the bonus is you find gold, then I think it becomes gold.
I get what you're saying. You know, and again, Mark right away, I think it's cool, but I'm out. Like, he's like, I have no interest in mining gold, pretty much is what he was saying. And
Not this way, at least.
No. And Robert was like, it's cute, but I'm out. Which is funny, because Robert goes out, and then he actually comes back in with a deal at the end. Yeah. And, you know, Barbara's, you know, I'll buy one for my husband. And it was like they were kind of laughing at this idea.
Because it was very tough to, I mean, granted he had sales, he had a website and all this, but, you know, it's just one of those, like, there are products, unfortunately, as good as they may be, as good as this, you know, and yes, numbers talk and things like that, but the numbers weren't there to talk. And sometimes, you know, they've gone out on deals that could make sense, but they're just not interested.
Right.
And so this was one of those, like, I'm just not interested.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel that was all around. And Mr. Wonderful was so crazy, but he actually gave it. He's like, this is so crazy, but I'll give you 60 grand, but I need half of the company. And Mark was pretty much like, no. And Mark Peterson, I'm talking about, was pretty much like, no way. I don't want to do that. And then Robert comes in with $60K for 25%. But he was almost making fun of it. Like, he got up and he, like, gave it out as gifts. So I don't know why, like, how he transitioned from making fun of it to, I'm going to invest in this. Yeah, I mean, was he just like, here's 60 grand?
That's what I liked. Our pitch man, Mark, was, so what's your vision for the company? Are you serious?
And that's
what's
exactly
my vision?
What Robert said. He's like, are you serious? Which, I mean, I kind of give him credit because, in a sense, he wasn't really letting it bother him that they were making fun of him.
Yeah.
Which I think takes a lot when you're up there presenting by yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I don't think I ever need one of these. I mean, sure, if we were at the beach and you had one, of course I would want to try it, but I don't think that I ever need one of these. And lugging it around it's a pretty big contraption as well. It's like a big bucket.
I mean, it's a bucket. How hard is it to carry a bucket?
Who wants to carry a bucket like that around?
It's a bucket. You go to the beach, you carry tons more stuff.
All right, fine. I don't know. I don't want to carry the bucket.
I'm just gonna, you know what? Here's the thing: you just need some plants, right? Meaning, you need to get a couple of salespeople, strategically place them on beaches especially during the summertime, and just have them be like, "Oh my God, I've been mining and I just made $10,000 in gold."
But that's not going to happen. They'd be lying.
So?
Did you see the ring of gold? It was probably worth like 3 pennies.
So?
So you're going to mine for hours to make 3 pennies? I mean, that to me, that's not very cost effective.
Here's the thing. It's like it's a Mitch Hedberg joke, but it's you know, they always have advertisements of the lottery of like you know, people winning. Well, that only happens like 1% of the time. So McDonald's should adopt like an ad campaign where someone chokes on a burger, because that only happens some of the time. You know what I mean? So like, hey,
no, but you know what? This would be cool too, though. Say that the bucket came with a little map with like coordinates to where gold was spotted. And you can bring your bucket there and go on like a treasure hunt with your bucket. Like, it's got to be
according
something.
to the area. Okay,
It's got to be something more than just the bucket.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I like that. That's good for the app tie-in or website or something.
Because everything's an app now, and you can then tell people, like, I found this goal. Or maybe not tell people. You can see where... But then again, like, you get a certain amount of points if you uncover something that no one else has known. Like, they can make a whole big game out of this, rather than just, like, if you go to Home Depot... buy some sand and then pour it through, you're going to be left with a tiny amount of gold.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's no, like, adrenaline rush to the game.
Okay. So there you go, Mark. You have 2 options. You can make it app-based and fun, or you can make it an essential camping tool.
Yeah, Mark,
your choice.
You call me. We'll figure it out. All right, anything else about Mark and the gold nugget, Gold Rush Nugget Bucket?
I didn't see gold in this product, so I'm out.
I'm out, too. I would never. Nope, I'm out. Okay, now we move on to Cece Conrad and her Boobie Pack.
Boobie Pack.
What do you think about the Boobie Pack, Phil?
Love the Boobie Pack. Obsessed.
Really?
Why not?
I love it too. I don't know. I expected some kind of snarky remark from you. I think this thing is a
What was I
fabulous.
supposed to say?
Well, I don't know. I thought you'd say it was ridiculous, whatever. But I think
No, I see women putting their cell phones in their
there's nowhere
boobs
to
all the
put
time.
them. There's nowhere to put anything. If you could fit your cell phone and a key, and it's like a sports bra that's modified. It could be a shirt. It could be not. Like when you go work out or when I go hiking, like you got to shove stuff. You don't want to wear shorts with big pockets and stuff. You
Yeah.
want to just wear your little sports bra with your zipper and have your stuff in it.
Exactly.
I can't believe she didn't get a freaking deal. Oh no, she did.
She did.
She did at the end. She almost didn't. But yeah, so she wanted $80,000 for 20%, and
Which is very fair.
and it's waterproof. So not only can I go hiking, I can go swimming, I can go surfing, I can do all these things, and I need one of these. I want one. Please send me a Boobie Pack. She's got a great margin. It costs $7.17 for her to make, and they retail at $55, which is a little bit pricey for us. You can definitely get a cheaper sports bra than that, but for what it is, I think it's totally worth it.
Yeah, and you know, not that I'm in the sports bra business by any means.
You know
but,
you wear one tomorrow. I'll see it.
But you know, I mean, here's the thing: Nike and Adidas and all these other like athletic wear, it gets pretty. It's in that price range. So I don't mind the price. Realistically,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could get a cheaper one at like a Target or something, but for a Nike sports bra, it's probably like $45, $50.
Yeah.
And that's what for me, I can't believe that the licensing conversation did not come up with this product.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that Mr. Wonderful would say something exactly like that. Like, because I believe she had some patents, correct?
Yes, she did.
So, of course, Nike or somebody would make it more efficiently. They'd have a bigger margin.
Yeah, we'd have to make it climate cool. You know what I mean? Like they always have these like, you know, for letting it breathe and things like that. So there's stuff that we can bring to it to make it even cooler and better.
Yeah. So Mark is, you know, he's like, it's harder than it looks to grow a business. And Mark kind of goes out first. Again, Mark goes out first.
He really was just out. He just didn't care.
Yeah, and then so we have Mr. Wonderful. Finally back to his crazy deals. What do you think about his deal?
This was insane.
Yeah. It was like $80,000 after I recoup 4 times that, so $320,000. Then I'll take only 5% of the company. Crazy.
Which, you know, it's a okay deal, but she just didn't want to take out money from the company.
She didn't want to take out money from the company, and honestly, she could probably get a loan if she needed to, that you wouldn't have to pay back. Like the interest rate wouldn't make it so that it's 4 times the amount you borrowed to pay back. I mean, I get it. You don't get a shark and you don't get that, but I was very surprised at Mr. Wonderful. I mean, I get that $80,000 for 20% maybe wasn't the right valuation, but I feel like Mr. Wonderful would have been like 80 grand for 35%, you know, contingent to I license it to Nike and Adidas and Reebok and whoever else.
Yeah.
So
well, then Robert, he came in, right?
Yeah, well, Barbara kind of went out, but she was pretty much out, but she said that she likes it. She likes her. She liked everything about it. She was kind of in the boat that she didn't need a shark.
Yeah.
Which I don't know that she needed a shark. And then Lori was kind of like, it's too early for me. But Robert did offer her a deal for $80,000 for 30%, and she countered Robert for 25%, and Barbara stepped right back in and said, I'll take that deal.
Just
which
like
is
Mark
kind of
would.
Awesome.
Here's the, I mean, it's a great.
Mark has done that before, yeah.
And he noted on that. What I like is, I like when people are willing, you know, this shows a genuineness to want to make a deal and to have a strategic partner.
Right.
Right. She didn't just go on the tank to, you know, get publicity for whatever she's doing. She genuinely, and especially for Barbara, she was so thrilled to get Barbara.
Yeah.
That it just made sense. And so, you know, her happiness, I do enjoy it. And whatever you could say, perhaps it's not the best business strategy, but hey, if it in her eyes, it's going to make her a better entrepreneur, and, you know, she doesn't mind giving up that and whatever else, then hey, she made a smart deal.
Right. No, I agree. I think it was a smart deal. I was really excited for her because, again, I can't believe it's taken this long I feel like the name needs to change, and I feel like Barbara will repackage that name or rebrand it. Yeah, because the Boobie Pack, like, it sounds funny, and I get it, the fanny pack, the Boobie Pack, but it's just, I don't think it's as marketable as the fanny pack is.
No.
I think it'll not be taken seriously in a few places. So, but yeah, Barbara is good at that. She'll rebrand it, she'll repackage it, and she's going to sell the crap out of it. So, anything else about the Boobie Pack before we move on?
This would have been a great gift for the ladies.
The Boobie Pack?
The Boobie Pack.
I so want one.
See?
You can buy me one.
Case in point.
October 4th, my birthday. I expect the Boobie Pack.
That gives me a little bit of time.
I expect you give me a little bit of time to
we'll
hunt
see
down
where
the
Boobie Pack is then.
Yeah. Maybe we called something better.
Nah.
Okay, so moving on to Jessie Janae, who started the company, the do-it-yourself company, Lumai. She wanted $250,000 for 5% of the company. What did you think of this product?
She was a tough presenter.
She was a tough presenter, but I think this is freaking awesome. I so want this.
Yeah, for what reasons?
To make T-shirts, to make pictures, to make anything.
It is. I mean, it is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, like, especially coming from the background of owning a clothing line, having a T-shirts and seeing the process. It's no mess. It's the sun. Like, how cool is that? How cool would that be to be like, hey, like, let's just print that out and let's go outside and expose it, and it happens. Like, yeah. You could do thousands of them at a time. You know what I mean? Not even that. It's just so cool because every single one of them, I would imagine, is going to be slightly different from how bright the sun is. You know what I mean? And I really like that aesthetic.
Especially if you
line it up and everything.
Whatever, especially you can have, to your point, you can have a shirt that no one else has. You can continue, every shirt that you ever wear can be original.
Right. And I feel like there's such a demand for that. I feel like so many people, creative, not creative, I feel like across the board, if you go up to somebody like, hey, you want to make a custom t-shirt? They'd be like, hell yeah. That'd be super fun. So, and that's why they have like iron-ons and all these things available, because people want to be able to do this without having to have, the factory and all this stuff to make these shirts. So I feel like it's kind of awesome. It's like
and it's quick. Like, you know what I mean? If you and I, let's say, get this idea that we want to do a 5K run or whatever kind of activity, and we're like, we should make shirts for our team. Well, to call it up and get them made, it's going to take 2 weeks.
Right.
But if it's in 3 days, we can do this.
Right.
And still have fun with them. And that's what I think. I think nowadays you want a faster turnaround time for your enthusiasm. And so to wait 2 weeks for something.
No, people want instant gratification.
Yeah.
And I feel like this, does that instant gratification. And it makes you, I mean, one of the things I love, you know, from my photography background is when you see it develop. You know, it's like one of the coolest feelings when you see a photo develop, like back in the old days back before, you know, digital photography, when you actually developed a photo and saw it, it was really cool. And this is kind of, I feel like that's what this is for me. It's kind of reinventing that. You know, you see it come to life right there.
You think people will dodge and burn some things?
They might dodge and burn from the sun.
Yeah, just
sitting there.
You know, fixing exposures and whatever else.
Awesome. Wow. For those of you that don't know the dodge and burn, well, I guess it's a tool on Photoshop now. So
but most people don't. I mean,
nobody uses. I use that tool all the time on Photoshop.
For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you know, in a photograph, if something. Me and Kevin O'Leary could definitely talk about this because he's, as he says, he's a starving artist without the starving part.
Right.
But yeah, in a photograph, when you used to do it, the light would just hit, and if certain parts were overexposed or underexposed, you used to just kind of, you know, wave a hand, a paper, whatever you did to kind of, you know, affect it. So. Well,
it would diffuse the light. So if you block the light, it would make it not exposed as much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so, and I like the story of this. I like that there's a special dye and it's a trade secret. And I don't know, I liked her at the beginning. And then towards the end, I was like, oh, she just wanted the PR. Like, that's kind of what I was feeling. So Mark was just not excited about it, so he went out. And which was interesting because at the end, Mark is kind of cheering for her. He's like, good for you for sticking to your guns. But it was, you know, Barbara didn't believe in it enough, and she's out, which I was kind of surprised by for Barbara because I feel like she does like these products. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like she's kind of artsy-fartsy and like, oh, this would be cool, you know? And then Lori was about to make an offer, and then Mr. Wonderful chimes in with another. I mean, we had a few episodes there where Mr. Wonderful just gave straight offers, like a percentage for,
that
I mean,
streak
just money.
Lasted not a long time.
Yeah, now it's over, and he's back to these crazy deals. So he interrupts Lori's offer, which Lori was kind of like, whoa, because last week, you know, Lori got talked over and didn't get, you know, paid any attention to, and she went out because of it. But Mr. Wonderful was different this time in that he was like, no, this might be good for us.
Yeah, and the thing with last week, that was the fault of the presenter. This, you know what I mean? If you're Lori, there's no way you can say, well, it's because the presenter can be like, yes, I want to hear your offer, but there's nothing I can do to make Kevin quiet down.
Right. So his offer is first, he gives two offers. First is $250,000 for 50% of the company, or he'll lend you $250,000 with an 8.5 interest, and after it's paid off, he'll take 12.5% of the company. And Lori was like, okay, that wasn't that bad. I'll do that deal with you. And, you know, of course she didn't want to do it because, I mean, I don't know that I would do that either. It's like, you know, she seems to say she's already got $180,000 from an angel investor. Like, clearly she knows people, so maybe she can get a better deal. I feel like she wanted the deal that she came into the tank with, but she wanted to give it to a shark.
Well, the tough part is she made it tough for not that was a good deal, but the wiggle room was very tough.
Right.
You know, and when Robert was coming in and he was like, okay, give me a counter, she looped and swooshed and came back to the same thing that she was doing already, which was what she had come in with.
Right, and you know what? To be very honest with you, $250,000 at 15%, Robert's offer, I feel like was kind of fair. Or I feel like if she would have, actually she did counter and he said no. He wanted to stick it to 15, right? Or did she try and work the deal? But I feel like that was kind of a fair offer. Like, I wish she would have taken that because this, again, is something, you know, Robert would have liked this. He likes the artsy stuff too. Him and Barbara, I think. I mean, I guess they all have done kind of art-related building, making stuff. But I feel like, you know, Robert's kind of the big kid out of the bunch. So, you know, whoever would be like, oh, I want to run outside in the sun and see if this actually works, that kind of be Robert. But she doesn't want that to do that offer. And then at the end, she kind of just starts doing, you know, what we see ever so often in the tank. She kind of just starts negotiating herself out of a deal. Like, she kind of, and I get it, she wanted to stick to her guns, but in the same sense, I don't know, there's not many deals that come into the tank and get exactly what they want. There are a few, and it happens.
Yeah, but you have to, again, you have to allow for at least a little bit of wiggle room.
Right. It's like if she wanted 5%, then say 2. You know what I mean? And I get that that's ridiculous, the 2%. But you know what I mean? Like what you're saying. Or say you want more money. You know, or something like that. Because you can value the company the same way and take more money and then get things rolling in a different way. Because the Sharks, they don't really... I mean, sometimes they do, but for them to be involved for 5% of the company is kind of like... eh.
Yeah, it's really not... Had you gone up to 10, I felt like that, you know, yes, that's 10%, but at the same time, like, that's...
I don't know, man. I'd rather make 10% of millions and millions of dollars and have a shark help me build my company than make 5% of nothing.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anything else for Lumi? Lumi. Is it Lumi or Lumi? Lumi. Probably Lumi.
At the end, it was like, all right, you can leave now.
Yeah, they were like, bye-bye. But you know what? At the end, Mark was saying, you know, good for you for sticking to your guns. So I feel like Mark had a little bit of a change of heart. Yeah.
You know, and again, she knew what she had. I mean, it is a good product, and it will do well, but go to 7%. Go to 8.
Just
go to
show
anything.
that you're willing, and I believe Lori might have said this, show that you're willing to be a team and you want a partnership and that you're willing to meet in the middle a little bit. She was like, no. So again, for those deals, I don't know, do you think she came into the tank just for the PR? Like, do you think she actually thought she was going to walk away with a deal? I don't know.
Who's it? Remember they said, like, have you ever gone... What I liked was, do you watch Shark Tank?
Yeah.
And she was like, yes. So I like that they brought that sort of into the tank.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit more sassy, too, with comments like that. So I do like that. Okay, great. So then this week's update was the paintbrush cover. We had John Sal and Anthony who made a deal with Lori. I liked these guys a lot. I thought it was a brilliant idea. It was find a problem and solve it. A problem that if you've ever painted, and I'm sure most people out there at one time or another have painted something, a wall or something. And it was just like simple idea, but it works.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like they're in they're in 14,000 stores now. In Home Depots.
Lowe's they're getting into and things like that.
Yeah, and before the Shark Tank, they had $35,000 worth of sales. And in the 9 months after, they had $1.5 million worth of sales. And these guys went from like making it in their garage to like a factory and employees. I love seeing stories like this. I mean, I really, and I kind of think I would buy one. Would you buy one? Do you have one? You do, don't you?
We do a lot of painting.
I know. That's why you should have one.
Yeah. We got some. I like the the paintbrush cover's good, but the roller.
The roller's where the money's at.
You guys think like I get really excited about sometimes some of the I love great backpacks and like little things that really serve a fun purpose. I get really behind it. So a roller cover, absolutely I'm in.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. The roller cover makes a lot more sense because how many times have you done a roll and it gets stuck? Or I've tried to put like plastic around it to keep it.
You do plastic, you do the baggie,
and then you get paint all over you. Like it's always just a disaster. And these guys got it figured out. So I kind of like it.
Yeah, nice and simple.
Yeah. Anything else on the paintbrush cover before we go into? Did you see the previews for next week?
Oh yeah, this is so it's Robert that walks out?
So apparently they say it's the most explosive fight in Shark Tank history. And it's kids with college businesses, presenting. And yeah, I think that Robert walks out. And it seems to me that Robert's fighting with Lori. You see Mark fighting too, so I don't know if it's Mark.
Yeah, Mark says, what do you know about algorithms?
To Lori or to Robert?
I believe Lori.
Yeah, so I think Lori is...
Because I don't think he'd insult Robert in that way. Because, I mean, when you're
clearly old... it's like a... yeah.
When you have a cyber company and you've created a cyber...
you know about it.
Yeah, you got to know, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't wait to see if it's Lori by herself that's fighting. Because Lori can hold her own. I mean, they can all hold their own. Let's call it how it is. But it seems like I can't believe Robert actually, like, what did she say that offended him so much? Because it's not just like, I'm going to steal a deal from you. Like, something else had to happen.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it's like, you know, it's not like they needed to spice this show up. This show has tons of drama. It has tons of emotion. There's a roller coaster of like wanting to, you know, root for people and then seeing people that are disasters. So I'm so curious for next week.
Well, I get really curious because, I mean, what is it? They go 9 days straight.
Yeah.
Right? And on top of this, you still got to imagine, like, they're running their own businesses.
Right.
And so when you work that hard and whatever else, like, you know, I'm sure they get very little sleep during this time. And so towards the end of production, what's fun, and I don't know the full order episode, you know, how they film versus when it gets aired.
Right.
But the more tired they are, it feels like this is more towards the end and you're just more apt to snap.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yes, all that you're saying makes sense, but I don't know.
It'll be interesting.
It'll be very interesting. Anything else before we wrap up this episode? Phil, anything you want to add?
Good episode. I wanted a little bit more from Mark. But other than that, Kevin always he always hits for me, and he just did again, you know, with the shirt of like, you're dead to me. I should have showed her that shirt.
Oh yeah.
And you know, hey, no one here is an artist like me.
Yeah, he doesn't really look so artsy.
And the Nugget bucket, yeah, I'm gonna charge you royalty for the use of that photo.
Yeah.
So.
All right, cool. Well, until next week, guys, you can find us at youtube.com, AFTERBUZZ TV. Subscribe there. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at IamStefZ. And where can the people find you, Phil?
Follow us here at AFTERBUZZ TV, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff.
Whoop. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.